Hey children, eating right. What's that? We just eat, right? What's there to eat, right? We just eat. But wait, is that all? Why should these things like what we eat, when we eat, where we eat, and how we eat all matter? I'm not sure if it makes sense. Why should these parameters even matter? Because we just eat for nourishment, and as long as we get what we need from food, and we are healthy, we can move on. But does it have anything more than that? Yeah, probably it does. When we talk about what we eat, in irrespective of what we eat, whether you eat paratha and palak paneer or we eat pizza, we know that we need the right amount of carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Okay, I'm not taking fat into consideration because today's food cooking fat is in almost every food, so fat is not an issue at all today, right? So these are the components that we need in food, irrespective of what food we eat. And unless we are really, really eating only chips throughout the day, there is some other way by which all these things will come: carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and fiber, right? But besides that, besides getting nourishment, what does food do to us? What how do we say, what relationship do we have with food? Is it just for nourishment? No, yeah, there's more. Need to eat those so that we remain alive, just like all other species on earth get up in the morning after it's daylight, of course, and throughout the day they eat and find a source of water so that they can cool themselves off, and then get back to sleep, right? Or rest or wait for the next day to come. There's more, because all species on earth eat to remain alive. They need the nourishment to remain alive. But we have come very far away from all the other species, right? We have such a complex society, and we have positions within the society and a whole lot of things. So for us, food is not just for eating. Food also means how we set our body to respond to our other needs, that takes us away just from eating and sleeping to what we want to do in life. Yeah. So when do we eat? Besides what we eat, or looked at a balanced diet, when do we eat? Is it important what time of the day we eat? Yeah, it's important what time of the day eat, and I'm not going to go into too much of details about what time and all that. A lot of people have spoken about it. I want to tell you, when we say what time of the day, how regular are we at eating, and how is it that we place our eating with respect to our other activities in life is very, very important. How do we eat so that we can get the best out of the other activities that we do in our life? Okay, how can we place eating so that we can achieve more out of the other things that we do? And definitely, as students, many teachers would have told you, many people would have told you not to eat a rich carbohydrate diet because it makes you feel sleepy, or not to eat a too fatty diet and not exercise, because once you have a lot of fat deposition, your movement may be restricted. And how not to eat too much of fast food because it contains a whole lot of other things, right? But besides that, when do we eat? During studies, after studies, and how do we treat eating is important, because that decides how we are able to do our other activities in life. We all have roughly fixed meal times. When you go to school, you have a break which happens all at the same time. Every single day you have snack break and a lunch break, and then you're left, the school closes so that you can go back home. And the first thing you do is find something to eat, right? Because you would have done a lot of work, especially as young children. You need to eat more because you all are growing, right? And the fact that we have a regular timetable, regular meal times itself, uh, uh, is an indication of how the body responds. The body responds to routine, and the body responds positively to routine, right? You ever notice how you start feeling hungry at snack break or lunch break? Children tell me, ma'am, this is the last period before the break and we want off. I'm hungry because you've been doing the same thing for years or months together, and therefore a body gets accustomed to that. And when we satiate that need, we don't have to think too much about what to do about the whatever is involved in eating. For example, okay, take your tiffin to the class, to the ground, or if you're sitting in class and eating, fine, whatever. So a whole lot of thing is set in place. There's a discipline in what we eat and discipline in the activity of eating. And the body responds to that. All right, this is time to eat, this is time to sleep, and therefore we just do it. You would have also noticed how our body responds at the mere thought of food or at the mere thought of one particular dish. Me, for example, I get mouth watery when I think of samosa any time of the day. Samosa is my favorite food, right? Now, that's how the body keeps memory. And that's how we respond. I feel like eating because the body needs it, and the body knows that it can endure because there is food coming at this time. Okay? Endure because it knows that food is coming, right? And if there was no food coming, and if you were not sure about where the next food would come from, the body would already start worrying about whether there would be food coming at all, what should it do if it doesn't come, and start looking for ways of eating, right? Today we don't have so much of an issue because all of us have fridge and we all live at homes and we have enough of money and stuff to buy food. But that's how the brain works, right? That's how the brain works. And if we were to deny it, then we again go back to how we would be if we didn't have all these facilities. Where will the next meal come from? And therefore, it brings a block in what we are doing right now. I cannot think of what I'm supposed to do because I'm hungry. And what happens when you deny food at the time when it is hungry, or eat at times when it is not planned, or even just at some random time I eat whenever I feel like? Do you see how each time when you eat, there's a whole lot of small preparation happening around it? What I should eat, where I should keep my stuff, and because of all this preparation, our brain is involved in creating new stuff, right? So each time if we had to create new stuff, we would be spending time thinking of what is the best way to do it. Whereas if it is a time and tested method, okay, I eat the dining table, I have the mat on place, this is the plate I use, a lot of things happen automatically. Yeah. So when we do things automatically because we have a discipline about it, our life becomes much easier. And when our life becomes easier, the brain is not confused. Where are we going to eat today? What are we going to do? What else is involved in doing it? I have to recreate all the stuff that is needed, right? And the body is not confused. The brain is not confused because each time we are doing exactly what we're doing. Something much like our toilet training that happened at a very young age, our parents taught us. This is not something which other species do. They just pass it wherever they are, but we are trained to do that, and therefore we do not have to think about what else to do once that activity is done. A whole lot of things is set in place. Okay, so okay. So we've looked at what we eat, and when we eat is really important for our body to have it easy so that we can spend our time doing things which we really are passionate about. All right. So rest of the things we'll handle in the coming videos. Until then, bye.